basketball has really consumed my life for a year, so I feel like it'll be good for me to kind of reflect back on everything that's happened. Like, I feel like I didn't even have time to really reflect on my college career because it ended so fast. I feel like taking some time to myself and really enjoying that and reflecting back.
There's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no...
Caitlin Clark has announced she'll be stepping away from basketball until April to rest and reset. Meanwhile, Alyssa Thomas has spoken out about the hateful messages she's received from some Clark fans.
Caitlin will not play off-season basketball. 200+ days until we see Caitlin Clark play basketball again.
Allow me to publicly thank the Indiana Fever for putting up such a great fight tonight and for battling back again and again and again all season long. Let me thank Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell and all the rest for refusing to say die, refusing to lose, fighting back again and again and again, and playing at a much higher level than they should be at this stage and age. Was I ever injured?
In her last game, Caitlin Clark was taken down hard, and once again, no foul was called. Seriously, how is that not a foul? Oh right, it's Caitlin Clark, so apparently, the whistle doesn't blow for her.
That this group accomplished that, a lot of people probably didn't think was possible, one, to start the season, and two, after the start we had to the season. So, yeah, it'll definitely be probably a little weird for me over the course of the first couple weeks, and then I'm sure I'll get bored and pick up a basketball again, so...
Alyssa Thomas wasn't too happy after the game, even though her team came out on top. She voiced frustration over how some Fever fans treated her throughout the matchup, calling out their behavior. But here's the twist. When Angel Reese tackled her earlier this season, she stayed quiet. Yet now that the situation involves Caitlin Clark, suddenly it's a whole different story.
Fans that are going to degrade us and call us names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And, we come to play basketball for our job and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time.
Is Caitlin Clark's decision to rest after her breakout WNBA season a major turning point in her career? And what could it mean for the future of women's basketball? As Caitlin steps away from the court for the next 200+ days, fans and analysts are asking how her absence will impact not only the Indiana Fever but the entire league. Her choice to focus on recovery instead of playing overseas or in 3x3 events marks a shift in how she's managing her career. But what does that mean for the WNBA's momentum and viewership? Caitlin's earned a well-deserved break after an intense year. She played 81 games in just 324 days, logging nearly 2,850 minutes on the floor. That's nearly a full NBA schedule.
Now has 761 points, breaking the record once held by Simone Augustus. However, there is a caveat. Augustus set the mark back in 2006 when the WNBA regular season was just 34 games. Clark broke the record in 30.
Let's talk about Caitlin's last game. This wasn't just any regular season matchup, it was a playoff showdown where everything was on the line. The Fever faced a tough Connecticut Sun squad, and while the odds were against them, Caitlin rose to the moment. She dropped 25 points and handed out 9 assists, showcasing why she's one of the most talked about players in basketball. Those who watched closely saw her brilliance, setting up her teammates again and again with perfect passes, only for several easy shots to miss. Caitlin's playmaking was elite. She made the game easier for everyone around her. Unfortunately, the shots just didn't fall that night.
Grade myself. I'm a tough grader. I feel like I had a solid year, but for me, the fun part is I feel like I'm just scratching the surface, and I'm one that's nitpicking every single thing I do, and I know I want to help this franchise get even better, help my teammates get even better, be better for my teammates, and I know there's a lot of room for me to continue to improve, so that's what excites me the most. I feel like I can continue to get a lot better, and before we know it, I'm sure we'll...
The pressure in that playoff game wasn't just on Caitlin's shoulders. The Fever, a team that had battled inconsistency throughout the season, were up against a well-rounded and playoff-tested Connecticut Sun squad. But Caitlin wasn't about to back down. From the opening tip, she attacked the basket with confidence, took smart shots, and did everything she could to give her team the best shot at victory.
A lot of players, a lot of these wonderful ladies who bust their tail to make the WNBA what it was. Here's the reality. It wasn't what it is. The quality of basketball may have been up to snuff, and you had somebody as popular as Cheryl Swoops who had her own signature shoe, had to deal with Nike and all of this other stuff. But the bottom line is, very few people get it.
Even though Caitlin's final game ended in disappointment, her season overall was nothing short of incredible. This was the year she proved herself as one of the most exciting and skilled players in the WNBA. From her elite scoring to her ability to create for others, Caitlin was the heartbeat of the Indiana Fever. It's important to appreciate just how impressive her year truly was. Every team in the league had one goal: stop Caitlin Clark. Defenses were built around her, coaches adjusted their game plans constantly, and still, she found ways to dominate night after night. That consistency at such a high level is what makes her special.
It's a lot of fun watching Caitlin Clark's rookie season, which is now over. The Indiana Fever knocked out of the postseason by the Connecticut Sun in a 2-game sweep. And so we got to see the carryover from Iowa transition to the pro game, her ability to help develop a team's cohesion and chemistry. And we saw that work so well as the season went on. Clearly brought, like a magnet, phenomenal attention to the league, bringing new fans, a committed fan base, not just in her home arena, but bringing fans to away arenas and packing the houses and increasing different venues from smaller to larger because of their presence. It's been...
Caitlin's deep-range shooting is one of her most dangerous weapons. She has an incredible ability to knock down threes from way beyond the arc, and with serious efficiency. That kind of range forces defenders to play her tight, opening up driving lanes she can attack with her speed and ball handling. But Caitlin isn't just a scorer, she's also one of the best playmakers in the league. She constantly finds her teammates in the right spots and keeps everyone involved in the offense. Her 9 assists in her final game are proof of that. And honestly, she could have had even more if her teammates finished some of those looks. Beyond the stats, though, what really sets Caitlin apart is her leadership. Even as a young player, she became the voice and anchor of the Fever, stepping up in big moments, whether it was hitting clutch shots or making key defensive plays. That leadership, paired with her elite talent, made her one of the most valuable players in the WNBA this season.
It's really just the fans, her fans, the Iowa fans, now the Indiana fans that are like, they rock for her. And I respect that respectfully, but sometimes it's very disrespectful. I think there's a lot of racism when it comes to it, and I don't believe she stands with me.
After such a demanding season, it's no shock that Caitlin decided to take some well-earned time off. Many WNBA players choose to play overseas during the offseason, both to stay in shape and to earn extra income, but Caitlin made the choice to rest instead. And honestly, it makes sense. The WNBA season is grueling, especially for players carrying as much responsibility as she does. Playing overseas would mean diving straight into another intense schedule with almost no recovery time. For Caitlin, the physical and mental toll of the season made it clear this break was absolutely necessary.
Clark be a good pro? Absolutely. Will Caitlin Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately?
Along with skipping overseas play, Caitlin also opted out of participating in 3x3 basketball, a fast-paced version of the game that's been growing in popularity. While it might have been a fun way to stay sharp, she knew her body needed complete recovery, not more competition. Her decision shows real maturity for a young athlete. Many players feel pressure to keep going non-stop, but Caitlin understands the long game. Taking care of her body now means extending her prime later. By taking this break, she's giving herself the chance to recharge physically and mentally, ensuring she comes back even stronger next season.
Fourth in betting odds on being MVP of the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a ban.
Throughout her rookie season, one of Caitlin Clark's biggest frustrations was the lack of calls she received from referees. Whether it was driving hard to the rim and absorbing contact or getting bumped on the perimeter, Caitlin often found herself on the wrong side of missed calls. For a player of her caliber, one of the league's brightest stars, She expected at least the same level of respect other top players get.
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball. So I don't know, it reminded me of the technical that I got in college where I said damn it, where it's like a personal frustration. Had nothing to do with my team, had nothing to do with their reffing, had nothing to do with other team. It was just because I'm a competitor and I felt like I should have been making more shots. So but I think he fired me up to continue to play a lot harder. I thought we got a lot better after he did that, so I want to thank him for that.
In her final game against the Connecticut Sun, the issue showed up again. Caitlin attacked the basket multiple times, took hard hits, and yet, no whistle. It was a pattern fans had seen all season, and it hasn't gone unnoticed by coaches or analysts either. What makes it even more confusing is that in both the NBA and WNBA, star players typically get favorable calls. Players like LeBron James or Aya Wilson often see the benefit of the doubt. But for Caitlin, the officiating seemed to go silent even when the contact was obvious. The game also had some drama off the court. During the matchup, a fan in the stands started heckling Caitlin, throwing constant jabs her way. At first, she ignored it, staying focused on the game, but eventually, she'd had enough. In a moment that reminded fans of LeBron James doing the same thing, Caitlin pointed the heckler out to arena staff, and security escorted the individual out. It was rare to see Caitlin show that kind of frustration, but it proved that even the calmest players have their limits. With Caitlin now out of the playoffs, the entire postseason picture shifts. Angel Reese, one of her biggest rivals, suddenly faces a clearer path. The two have gone head-to-head all season, and while Angel hasn't celebrated Caitlin's exit, it's fair to say that the road to a championship just got a little less crowded. Meanwhile, with Aya Wilson still standing strong, the playoff spotlight is moving toward her, but Caitlin's absence leaves a noticeable void. Her breakout year didn't just lift the fever, it elevated the whole WNBA.
We're watching women's basketball right now. It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball that you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize.
Fans tuned in just to watch Caitlin play. Her games turned into must-see moments, highlight reels, viral clips, and pure excitement every time she touched the ball. But now that she's off the court, the WNBA faces a new challenge: keeping fans engaged without its biggest attraction. The league has made major progress in recent years, better marketing, broadcasting deals, and growing accessibility, but players like Caitlin are what truly drive momentum. Without her active, the league temporarily loses one of its most magnetic and marketable stars. That could mean a noticeable dip in ratings and attendance, something the WNBA will need to overcome as it continues to grow. Caitlin Clark's influence goes far beyond her stat sheet. She's become a cultural force, someone who's brought new eyes, fresh energy, and excitement to women's basketball. Now that she's out of the playoffs, there's a sense of loss not just for the Indiana Fever, but for the entire league. Caitlin brought something special, a spark that made fans fall in love with the game all over again. Still, if there's one thing we know about her, it's that she'll come back stronger. Her drive, discipline, and work ethic are unmatched, and this break will only fuel her next chapter. When Caitlin Clark returns next season, the WNBA will light up once again, and fans everywhere will be ready for it. Movie Camera, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Caitlin Clark updates and WNBA coverage.